Yo, what up, everyone? It's Arcade Future. I talk about games that are easy to play but difficult to master. And today I want to talk about Halo and the Halo series and where Halo Infinite is right now. Now, I'm going to talk about why I believe that the franchise is dead right now. And I'm going to sort of preface this stream of consciousness or this rant by saying basically, I have nothing but respect for the origins of Halo, the creators of Halo, 343, now known as Halo Studios, developing the game. I have nothing but respect for, Xbox, Microsoft, everyone who's worked on this game and put in time into it. This is only coming at the game from a critic perspective, from a consumer perspective, from a player perspective, and talking about, kind of how disappointed I am with Halo Infinite and where it is. And I want to share these ideas to see if people feel the same way about Halo Infinite and about the Halo series right now, and kind of just hopefully point out some things that could be like beneficial for the Halo team. Some things that they could be working on, things that they can improve. I know, working in the gaming industry myself, I know how politics can be, corporations. There's a lot of moving parts to making a great game, right? It's not just make the game good. I understand that, but still, I think it's important to bring up some of the issues with Halo as it is right now, and talk about like where we want it to be, man, and where we want it to go. It's the start of 2025. The game, as I think, it's still dead. It's still nothing's happening with the game, and I kind of want to go into what I mean. So please give me a like, subscribe, comment, let me know if you agree, if you disagree. Let's get into this video. I appreciate you watching, and I want to first talk about my experience with Halo and Halo Infinite, just to give you some context. And I won't go too deep into this, but this is separated into 3 parts. I don't have a script. I'm just going to kind of speak what I feel and just be honest with you. This is, like I said, not to bash anybody or anything like that, just to be real. So the first thing is, what went wrong, right? So my experience with Halo, I first played Halo at Halo 2, played it at a friend's house, was blown away by the game. The music, the character designs, the customization options, the gameplay, the sandbox, everything was amazing. I eventually played Halo 1, played Halo 3 when that came out. That was incredible. Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach. I did play a lot of Halo 4 and actually enjoyed it, despite, some of the things that were wrong with it. Halo Reach, like I said, I played that a lot. And I skipped Halo 5 just because I heard very little about Halo 5, and it didn't look very incredible at the time. And plus, I was, kind of started my career around that time. So I really wasn't into gaming that much around then. So I kind of skipped Halo 5. And then I got back into gaming, came back to Halo 5 around the pandemic, 2019, 2020. And actually enjoyed the game a lot with friends. The game had developed quite a bit, and there were some things that I really didn't like about the game. I felt like the core gameplay and the direction they were trying to go with the multiplayer was actually pretty good, right? So, for example, I thought, the pistol starch was really interesting. I don't think it was the end-all, be-all. I think them making the BR a worse gun in Halo 5 was not a great decision, but the aesthetic and the direction that they were going to make the game more esports, I thought was actually pretty cool, right? The esports aesthetic, the red versus blue, and this sort of modern, sort of stripped down, sort of esports arena, I thought was pretty good. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but by the time me and my friends joined on the game, they had already added playlists like Halo 3, like Mythic Arena or Mythic playlist, where it was throwbacks to the original Halo games, where you couldn't run, you couldn't climb up on ledges and things like that. It was really a call to the old school Halo games. I even think they had battle rifle starts, right? So they had a different battle rifle that was more tuned to the Halo 3 gameplay style, and all those modes were a ton of fun. And just getting ranked on there, the whole experience, I would say, was pretty good on Halo 5 by the time I got on it. And I know that was probably one of the worst performing Halo games, but for me, the game was pretty cool. Like I said, I thought the campaign was really not good, and was not interesting to me at all. But actually, the core gameplay and what they were going for with the Halo 5 gameplay, with ranked playlists, etc., and even their throwback nostalgia playlists were actually really well done. And even some of their Forge maps, though the Forge wasn't as good as the previous Halo games, the Forge had an aesthetic to it that was just really charming. It was really stripped down. And they even had like some 1v1 game modes on Halo 5 Guardians that were really exciting. So anyway, that's my overview of my experience with Halo. I've played all the Halo games. I enjoy them all for different reasons, and I even like Halo Infinite. But when Halo Infinite came out, it was kind of a surprise release. It came out a little bit earlier than we anticipated when it first launched. It was free to play, played it, loved the gameplay. It was fluid. We played maps like Recharge and I forget the other map, but there's a bunch of other maps that we played when the game first dropped, right? And the game was good. It was fun. It was fluid. It was fast. It looked great. The core gameplay is great, and I think the core gameplay is still great. And I think that, to start off with the positives about Halo Infinite, that is the best thing about the game. The core gameplay, the mechanics of the game, the actual shooting feels incredible, right? But the game had a rough start. There were a lot of modes not included. Theater mode wasn't great. There were a lot of issues with the game when the game first dropped. And I remember very vividly that they did not have even a ranked Slayer playlist when Halo Infinite first dropped. And of course, there was no co-op, I don't think, for the campaign. You know, they didn't add online co-op till a lot later, and they had promised, I think, a split-screen couch co-op. Then they backtracked and said, oh, that's never going to come out, right? There was a lot of things that happened, a lot of controversy that happened with Halo Infinite. There's been tons of YouTubers that have documented it. So when Halo Infinite was, when it came out and it didn't have a ranked Slayer, I thought that was kind of weird. That was really all we used to play growing up was Halo Slayer. That was like the best mode, and they didn't have it. And I remember like people were complaining and criticizing the game for a lot of different reasons: monetization, cosmetics locked behind a paywall, a bunch of different things. And they had on the subreddit, they literally locked the subreddit, like the moderators of Halo, because it had just gotten so crazy according to them, and people were getting threatened and all that kind of thing online because people were so upset with the rollout of Halo Infinite. And I think somebody from the community management team or something like that actually went to Reddit and actually responded back to people's comments and said something like, we just can't add Slayer in the game. And we come to later find out there might have been issues with the slip space engine that Halo Infinite was developed on. You should probably know about all these things that happened wrong with Halo Infinite on its launch. And I wasn't too fazed by it. You know, I definitely thought it was concerning and thought it was an issue, but I was like, they got time to fix it. You know, that was like 2020, you know, pandemic-ish time, 2021, I don't remember, something like that, right? That was years ago. Now it's 2025. What is the game doing now? What is Halo Infinite doing now? What is the state of the game at now? And I'm just going to be honest with you all, from a pure, you know, Halo fan, someone who loves SPS games in general. Super excited for Doom the Dark Ages, super excited for Metal Eden. I'm even excited for the next Halo game that they're developing. But I got to be honest with you guys. I can't sit up here and act like it's all good when it's not, or just ignore it when it's kind of going even further down the wrong way. First, could Halo turn it around? Could the Halo Studios team turn it around and make Halo put it back on top? It's definitely possible, and I hope that they do. Because I believe that the Master Chief and the game and the franchise is so incredible and so epic and so beautiful and so fun, and they have so many fans around the world, that there's no reason why this franchise shouldn't be one of the biggest. It should be one of the top most played games, right? I'm not even going to get into all the issues with Halo Reach, with Halo 4, with the Master Chief Collection, but I do think Halo Infinite as a package is a major downgrade to even Halo 5. Now let me explain that, because I know a lot of people don't like Halo 5, but I'm going to explain why this game is a downgrade, right? Because one, on Halo 5 you actually had some sort of drive to win, because the aesthetics of the game were so that it was like a red versus blue epic sort of arena styled esports-esque, you know, battle for ranked. With Halo Infinite, it's just really boring and bland. It's really, really, really boring and tired. And the startup animations, when they show every character, it's tired. It's really tired. It shows each of them doing one little thing. In Halo 5, it would just show the whole team together, and you move on and you get into the match. That's how it should be. Right now, you know, it shows every player on the team before the match and lets you show off their armor, these cosmetics that you pay for. I've never seen any of those starting animations look particularly cool. You know, I don't see too many unique ones, probably because you have to buy them, and most people don't buy those things, or maybe they just have not added enough good ones. Someone in the comments let me know. But those startup animations when you start a game on Halo Infinite are not cool, and they take up too much time to actually getting into the game. Secondly, there's no team unity because the team isn't all red, the team isn't all blue. There's no team color. Everybody can just be their own color, their own armor, right? And then the armor that they have behind the battle pass and stuff like that is not even interesting. I logged on as recently as like maybe 2 weeks ago from today on Halo Infinite, and was literally bored out of my mind. Like, we played some ranked matches with some buddies, and we played Recharge. And I'm like, we played Strongholds Recharge. And I'm like, this is literally what we played day one of Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite day one, when it dropped years ago, it had Recharge Strongholds as one of the primary ranked playlists. Run to A, run to B, run to C, and Fin. It's boring. It's boring. When it first came out, it was exciting. It was cool. It was different. We were learning the mechanics of the game. But now there's no battle rifle, so you're forced to play with the Bandit, aka the DMR. That is boring. I do like precision weapons. I like the pistol in Halo 5. I like the DMR in Halo Reach. I like the DMR in general. But it's way, way more boring than using the battle rifle, right? It's just single shot. You know, you're playing very cautiously, very defensively, because you don't want to take too many shots. Like, you can get completely eliminated so fast with the DMR if you just step out in the wrong angle. So you have to play very defensively, and you have to, like, you know, be very sweaty, for lack of a better word, because you have to hit all your shots. If you miss one shot, someone can easily get a reversal and kill you. So, and by the way, I'm not like a pro by any stretch of the imagination, but I am competitive. You know, I would consider myself a competitive player. I've, you know, gotten diamond a few times on Halo Infinite, and I think platinum on Halo 5, and you know, I play to win, and I'm definitely not the best of all time. Could definitely be better, but I definitely play to win, and I've played a couple tournaments and held my ground, you know. So so the game basically, it's the same thing that we were playing on day one. The menus look basically the same. The armors, you know, they've kind of opened up the armor cores. You can get slightly a bit more customization, but none of it looks particularly good. None of it has that, you know, classic Halo feel. You know, when you played Halo 3, you know, you picked a couple helmets. You had a couple shoulders. You had a couple different chests. Pick which one you want. You know, if they had implemented that model in Halo Infinite instead of having these different cores, it would be way cooler, and it would allow people to actually enjoy the game as a collective. I know they want to sell cosmetics, but how many people were really, fighting for and advocating for their own colors and their own skins in ranked matches? I don't think it was very many. I think people would prefer us to go back to red versus blue over paying for cosmetics and paying for colors. People would prefer to be forced into red or blue. And by the way, you still have to pay for colors. There's a bunch of colorways, and what they call them, skins, or they call them color palettes. I'm not sure what they call them, but they're colors that are locked behind paywalls. Colors. When you had tons of colors that were free on the original Halo trilogy. You know, so it's definitely a big downgrade. You know, I think even Halo 5, where it wasn't perfect, it still had, like, you know, 3 or 4 helmets that I really liked, and I would switch them out every once in a while. Now, the way that you got those helmets and the armors and stuff like that was trash. Okay, so it lost the classic Halo identity. We lost that red versus blue. And I do like to have my own colors for characters, but keep that for free-for-all. Keep that for other game modes. Keep that for co-op. I don't know, keep that for firefight. To lose that red versus blue, and then lose that red versus blue on the maps as well, because Halo 5 pushed that a lot too, a lot of the maps had a red side and a blue side. So that made callouts easier, and it just made the whole map and arena just feel more epic. Right? Because, like I said, you were either red or blue. You know, and there's no pre-game lobby chatter, so you can't talk to people before the match in the other team. You can't the map that you want to play on. Halo Reach had it. Halo 4 had it. This game does not. The UI isn't very good. The way the menus and stuff are presented or the way the maps are presented in the game isn't very impressive. Isn't very good. It looks the same as it did years ago when it launched during its so-called beta. Halo, more than its esports element, was actually about vibe. And I think that all the previous Halos have way more aura than Halo Infinite. One of the huge things that I think is a big problem right now with Halo Infinite is that there is no DLC for the campaign, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the fact that Halo Infinite campaign, which actually was pretty good, and I played it, probably one of the best Halo campaigns, was next to Halo 3. Halo Infinite's campaign is great, and it's great solo playing it too, which is how it initially released. But they don't have any DLC expansion for that yet. That would be an easy way to make money. That would be that's low-hanging fruit for people who just want to get back into Halo and play the storyline. They don't have any campaign for that, no DLC for that. Another huge missed opportunity. Right? So let me know what you think. Drop a comment. I want to get into the second part, okay? Which is the gameplay experience, right? And the reason why I say Halo is dead is not because people aren't playing it, not because the game isn't still pretty good, but because it has no soul. It has no personality. It doesn't feel like there's anybody passionate about it. You don't see anybody really advocating and pushing this game like it should be. It's almost like Halo is like someone that you're not really friends with, but you just tolerate. Right? You're there an associate. Halo is like an associate of Xbox and Microsoft. It's like the thing that they have to prop up. Like they're expected to prop it up. But it's not actually getting the love that it needs. It's not actually being presented and championed by the developers. And I know they're probably working on a new game. They're hiring a bunch of new people, probably firing a bunch of people, transitions, understand how it goes. But the game has no soul. Halo Infinite is dead. If you go on Halo Infinite right now, it is just soulless. The people playing Halo Infinite right now, if you're still playing it, let me know. But the people playing Halo Infinite right now, they are like, they're geeked up on actually just improving their aim and improving the objectives and winning. Now, I know there's people who play other game modes that are like less competitive and stuff like that, but I've never been into those. I've been interested in Battle Rifle, Team Slayer, 4v4, simple, straightforward, to the point. A couple of you once in a while played Assault, which they just added Assault, which is the bomb defense or whatever, and that's cool, but that should have been day one. You're only 3 years too late. So yeah, the game just feels totally soulless. It's got no passion, no energy, no change, no color. Where is the color, man? It's just bland. The game is just bland. No personality. And when you play that DMR ranked Slayer or ranked whatever DMR on Halo Infinite, and you're running through and you're just taking single shots because the DMR is a single shot weapon, and there's no music, and half the time, most of the time, people are not communicating because they don't, people don't have their mics on anymore in these days. It is boring. I mean, it's incredibly boring. Single shots, where the BR was kind of interesting, and apparently they've nerfed movement, they've nerfed grenades across the board just in the past 2 weeks. I don't know what that's about. I don't know how much that changes the game or if the community likes it or not. But that was one of the cool things about Halo Infinite, was that it was fast and it was snappy, and that you had the battle rifle, so you could make some pretty interesting and creative plays while being mobile. Where I feel like now with the Bandit, the DMR, because it's more of a precision weapon, you have to take your time and go a lot slower, and you can't go as crazy, and you can't run out as much, because the DMR, I think, is a much stronger, dominant weapon overall. Right, y'all can let me know if I'm right about that. But that's my impression. That's my feeling. My opinion. Just my opinion. If you feel differently, that's how it goes. So the game feels soulless. The gunplay is incredible, though. I can't, give them enough credit on the actual core gameplay. Besides the fact that it's extremely boring, the actual mechanics of it are really good. The ranked lists are incredibly boring. There's no vibes. There's no soul to this, and you get no reward for playing. I remember in Halo Reach, like you get 200 plasma grenade kills. Okay, cool. You might get a little badge, or you get that little thing achieved, and I think you could use those credits to buy armor in the shop or whatever. There were in-game credits. You should get a little something for playing every match, and it shouldn't be behind a battle pass. Every time I look at the battle pass, I don't see anything on there I really want. Every once in a while I might see one thing that's okay, but I'm not going to pay 10, 20 bucks, however much it is, to unlock a battle pass to unlock one thing that I want. And I'm not going to pay $20 for one skin. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It's not that cool. The game is not that exciting, and none of the skins are that good. So you got people paying for a battle pass for a couple things that they want, when you should be getting something. Even if they just had like a place where you could look at all the badges and all the badges through all the games, or they had some type of breakdown of like what type of player you are. You more defensive, like they created like a player profile based on your data, based on your stats. There's no comprehensive place to look at all your game stats on Halo Infinite, which there should be. There's no incentive to really dig into the game and really enjoy it, and they've not evolved the game's interface. They've not evolved the game's, access to him. So the battle pass is trash, and it's been trash, and locking the coatings or the colorways behind walls is just terrible. And you don't get any rewards. You don't feel like you're working towards anything meaningful. I've gotten, I want to say, maybe Diamond, I think, is after Platinum in this game. And I've gotten Diamond or whatever on Halo Infinite, and all you're doing is playing against tougher people. That's it. You don't get anything for climbing those ranks all that way. And it just is a snooze fest. Now, if I got the battle pass and paid the $10 or whatever to unlock it, could I probably have gotten a couple things? Yeah, sure, maybe. But I've got friends that have buy the battle pass and they don't have anything that impressive. Even if you had something like get 1,000 kills in Halo Infinite's Rank Slayer, you unlock the helmet. That's a simple way to have a long-reaching goal, and you can see you're progressing towards it, and you can unlock something for it. And when people see that you have that, people know that you've been playing this game a lot and you've unlocked that certain thing. That was something about Halo 3 that they had. When you saw somebody with a certain armor piece, you knew that they put in the work to get it. That's not there in this game. And I know people have talked about this tremendously, but this is a simple thing that they could be doing to make the game better. The game is boring. It has no soul at all. And every time we see people do, the dev team do like events or conferences or talks about the game, I will say that they do look better than a lot of other dev teams when they come out and talk about their game, but they don't look competitive. Meaning that when the dev team comes out and speak, they look tired. It doesn't look fun. It looks drab. They need someone with energy, with style, with an insane amount of, and hopefully the freedom and the creative control to actually implement some things in this game, to actually come in and make the game exciting and make people passionate, make it epic. If you look at the Halo 3 advertising campaigns that they had, that was epic. Their campaign was like, believe. We need to believe in Halo again. Halo needs to be resurrected. It's dead, and I can't believe it. When Halo Infinite came out, people complained about it. I said they got time. And they have not turned it around. They have dropped the ball with Halo Infinite and have gone basically radio silent on breathing life back into this game. The content is dead. Almost no one is making content about this game. the creators. No one's interested in this game. No one has anything positive to say about this game. We can only cover the little minor changes in news that comes out about the next game that's coming out, and that should let you know the game is dead. Developers are slow dripping content. They're slowly giving us little pieces. They added the fuel rod cannon, which is not the fuel rod cannon, it's the fuel rod spanker, which is a reskin for the rocket launcher. They should have kept it. They should have kept it. They should have never released it. It's not good. It's a rocket launcher that's yellow that shoots, the fuel rod ammunition. It just looks lazy and it's too late. That should have been there on day one if you were going to release it like that. Nothing is going on with this IP. You don't hear about a new animation series on Netflix, a new movie. Where is the Halo movie at? The Halo movie should have been out. Halo is an incredible franchise with an incredible character that could relate to anyone in the world, that has incredible music, and they made some trashy TV show instead of making a film that was incredible. Now, no disrespect to the people who worked on the TV show. I haven't actually watched it, but it doesn't look good. I know the Master Chief shows his face. That's a big no-no. And we don't want a TV show. We want a movie. Make the Halo film. Make Halo Combat Evolve a film and get the right directors and the right actors behind it and make it a great movie and relaunch the game and rejuvenate it. And honestly, I think that might be the only thing to help save this franchise if they do a movie. 343 changed their name to Halo Studios to kind of, rid themselves of the terrible name that they have. But I hope it's not just all corporate hype, corporate internal hype, and I hope that they're actually trying to make some real positive, meaningful, drastic changes, and that this game is just looking so bad because they just so moved on to the next thing. And if they have been putting in that work on the new one, and they are implementing the changes, and they are breathing life in the game, I hope that that's the truth, and that I will be there to support it, because I do want to support Halo, and I'm a big admirer of Halo. Now here's the issue. They have released Halo Studios, like how it's going to look in Unreal Engine. It doesn't look that good, what they showed. Just being honest. The Chief looks kind of weird. People said it looks like... I don't think that was what they should have showed. And it also looks a lot like Halo Infinite from the design perspective. From the environments and stuff that they showed. I think they need to move on. I think they're getting too bogged down into whatever has already been built. They have the impression that Halo fans just want the same old Halo again. I don't think that that's actually what Halo fans want. I think Halo fans just want a good game. They want a good Halo game. A game that's exciting, a game that has passion, a game that allows exploration, that is fun. If we want to play Halo 3, we can go play Halo 3. Halo 3 and Killer in that era, it was so much hype and passion there. Like I said, I understand the politics. I understand the struggles behind the scenes that go on with this. People feel powerless. Job. I understand that. But the Halo franchise is literally becoming the biggest fumble in IP history right now. The Master Chief should be as big as Mickey Mouse. He should be as big as Pikachu in Pokemon. That is an incredible character and an incredible design. He's basically a space soldier. I mean, it doesn't get that much more simple than that. You take the space soldier, you make an epic movie, you make an epic game with the best budget and all the bells and whistles and music and epicness to even allow the players who are not competitive to actually enjoy it. And it seems like, they're just kind of putting money into HCS, which is their competitive league, and that's cool. But I think Halo is so much bigger than, and while I do enjoy the competitive, it is a whole universe and an emotion, and that was the whole thing. You couldn't see the Master Chief's face, but connected with the character and the world and the experience, and how the gameplay was like basic, but it was allowed to really be expressive and to explore and to enjoy and to go deeper into it and to improve your aim with friends. And they've just made it so boring. Whereas like before in Halo 5, even though it was a single shot precision weapon with the pistol, it was still really exciting and cool. For one, you had more mobility options. You could jump in the air, you could float, you could aim while you were floating, you could dash left and right with like a sort of thrust option, and you grip the pistol basically in the center of the screen with both your hands if you were aimed down sights, if you were ADS. and it just was a more exciting, visceral, grounded experience. They even had melee options, which I know were not the best, but you could see what they were going with it. They were going for a more combative, gladiator style combat system. Whereas Halo 5 now in ranked, you have the DMR, you're taking single shots, and you're basically strafing, and that's it. So anyway, let me know what you think. Go on any longer on this. That's how I feel about Halo Infinite right now. I think the game is really struggling. Hopefully they break it back. I don't think they're going to get too many more shots after this. Let me know, do you agree? Do you disagree? Is Halo Infinite still good? Or is it a snooze fest? Let me know.